Hey there, and blessed be, and Happy New Year to all of my Virgo people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for January 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, you just need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, and I come back every week with weekly astrological and tarot updates as well. So what's going on when it comes to your January? How do we start off 2025? Well, things are going into a very special, fantastical mood as we start up the month with the Sun in Capricorn and Mercury in Capricorn combining their forces in your fifth house of love, romance, creativity, personal enterprises, as well as your relationships with your kids. And this is a very potent combination where a lot of fast developments and increased activity are going to maybe be fast forwarding things as far as your love life is concerned, especially when it comes to not only being able to maybe accelerate developments or maybe move things forward, speed steps up in love, but also bring in fresh energy, fresh faces, and special chemistry changes that are going to be quite titillating. This is also going to be a period where you may notice personal enterprises and creative projects are starting to really take off and pick up traction, and your relationships with your kids are also becoming a lot more mature and possibly even developing new intellectual rapport, allowing you to bond person to person a lot more fluently. We also have Venus entering Pisces around this time, going into your seventh house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. This is the area that rules the BFF, the business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all of the people you have business alliances with, your closest one-on-one connections, however they show up. And with Venus here, the planet of favors, generosity, affection, and connection, this is a time where you are either becoming a magnet for love, affection, and attention, or you are finding that there is some kind of additional sweetness that is getting a chance to transform a lot of important relationship dynamics and setups. With Venus in the seventh house, this is also a time where a lot of important milestones have an opportunity to be crossed in any kind of love story or romantic pursuit, even if it is just the beginning of a new one. And you may also find that business alliances and even platonic connections are becoming all the closer, more involved, and tighter. We also have, however, Mars retrograde sliding back into the sign Cancer, which is your 11th house of friendships, your support system, and community. And with Mars retrograde, we have a double-edged sword, a lot of good and some problematic. Now, on the good side, we see subdued energy and lowered intensity in situations that have maybe become prone to conflict, where people have been maybe stressing each other out, or maybe certain group connections, communities, or friendships have started to become frayed, or have some pressure put on some cracks that started to show. And so if we're looking to maybe take some of the stress or the strain out of our social life, this is going to be a really good transit. However, relaxed conditions can also lead to falling out of touch, or maybe becoming too isolated or too distant from social connections. And so you don't want to make the mistake of sinking in too deeply with the Mars retrograde relaxation effect, or you may find yourself a little bit too distant and too withdrawn from what you do want as well as what you don't. Mid-month, we've got a full moon in this part of your chart, sextile to Uranus in Taurus. And this is spelling an important culmination, transition, or ending that I do think is actually going to be really good for you, but it could come with a very big change in a friendship dynamic or group setup. Whatever this full moon is doing, however, it is going to be closing a very difficult chapter, either with a friend, with a group, or maybe something that has stalled out once upon a time. And yet at the same time, with Uranus involved, something that has been stalled or something that has been blocked up or maybe even disrupted by a difficult social connection or dynamic is getting pushed forward between the 13th and the 27th of the month. This could be something very specific, or this could just simply be the fixing or rectifying of a problem in a social circle or social connection that has been kind of regular. The second half of the month, we've got the Sun and Mercury moving together into the sign Aquarius. And we will also be having a new moon there as well, bringing new beginnings, fresh starts, and important commitments to your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, how you're compensated, as well as your standing in your community. Now, with the Sun and Mercury here together, this is going to spell a brilliant time for a lot of you Virgo people to kind of become the talk of the town, whether it is in business or in your personal life. This is also a time where you may be noticing some important adjustments by how you are treated, how you are valued, and how you are lifted up in your community. But you are going to need to be ready to be more present, involved, and visible. And finally, as our closer of the month, we've got Uranus turning direct in Taurus. And for the last few months, Uranus has been retrograde in this part of your chart. Your 9th house of expansion, growth, big moves, big travel opportunities, as well as long-distance connections, your prominence and popularity, and official matters. Now, with Uranus turning direct here, this is going to really liven up the place, especially if you felt like maybe a lot of these kinds of areas of your life have grown stagnant, almost to the point of being dead in the water. Luckily for you, with Uranus turning direct, it will bring in time as well of some sudden wild, spontaneous changes, new roads, and opportunities to cash in on. But you might need to also be ready to adjust your pace in order to keep up. So that's what we've got for your astrology for January, Virgo. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website, integrativemysticism.com.